Even the best can have an off day.
You look like shit.
It's been a bit of a rough year.
Welcome to Watch Mojo UK, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 5 worst episodes in otherwise great British shows. Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we're looking at episodes from popular TV series that even the majority of fans don't generally like.
Sir, I've changed my eyeball 3 times and I can't see anything. Are you sure you're not mistaken?
Number 5, The Waldo Moments, Black Mirror. Even creator Charlie Brooker admits this is the one episode of the dystopian sci-fi series Black Mirror that he wishes he could go back and do differently.
You need to sort yourself out.
I am.
The Waldo Moments tells the tale of a foul-mouthed cartoon bear that makes a bid for Parliament before eventually itself becoming the unconventional leader of a surveillance state.
500 quid to anyone who can lob a shoe.
Critics condemned the story's pacing, dialogue, and lack of a coherent message, but their biggest gripe was the fact that Waldo's rise to power was just too unbelievable, even in the murky world of modern politics.
Someone else less real than me, and I can do this.
Number 4, Series 23, Episode 1, Top Gear. Okay, so this episode wasn't especially worse than any other installment of Top Gear's 23rd series, but here's where the hope and general interest in the show started to die. When Chris Evans took over as host in 2016, many condemned him simply for the crime of not being Jeremy Clarkson.
By the way, we don't talk about catering on the show anymore.
But his and Matt LeBlanc's subpar car-based quips and blatant lack of chemistry saw viewing figures plummet, and even the original Stig calling the show really, really bad.
I tried.
But of course, we'll always remember that time later in the series when Evans seemed to throw up because the car he was travelling in was going too fast. Oh dear.
Go out!
Number 3, The Final Problem, Sherlock. The final episode of Sherlock Series 4 features a few impressive performances from a pretty stellar cast, but the drama is sadly overshadowed by gaping plot holes and unsatisfying scratch-your-head moments.
Oh, have you had sex?
Why do you ask?
The music, I've had sex.
First, we're expected to believe that Sherlock's sister Eurus can essentially control people's minds.
Like this.
Then, in an apparent effort to get Sherlock to like her, she creates an elaborate death trap and forces him to choose between killing his brother and his best friend. Because that'll make her popular, right? These are clearly some solid concepts, but there's only so much disbelief we can suspend, and ridiculousness wins out here. Number 2, Love and Monsters, Doctor Who. This TARDIS-tripping, galaxy-gallivanting, long-running sci-fi series has dropped the very occasional clanger, and some were left particularly unimpressed with In the Forest of the Night from the Peter Capaldi era.
I am Dr. Idiot.
But in the end, Peter Kay as Absorbaloff is still the character which haunts most Whovians, and not because it's scary. Looking like a creature created for a Blue Peter contest, Kay reportedly called this appearance the one true regret of his career, and it's easy to see why.
Thing.
A thing? This thing is my true form.
It's an episode marred by weak acting and an anticlimactic ending, but worst of all, the Doctor barely features at all.
He'll die, Doctor.
Number 1, If They Could See Us Now, Only Fools and Horses. In 1996, Del Boy, Rodney and Uncle Albert were given the perfect send-off that everyone wanted as they walked off into the sunset after finally becoming millionaires.
He who dares wins. This time next year we could be billionaires.
But then, 5 years later, the first of 3 highly anticipated but largely disappointing Christmas specials saw their dreams cruelly snatched away from them.
Chateau Neuf de
After Del Boy loses his fortune in a stock market crash, he tries to win it back on a quiz show, but the Wheeler Dealer magic is unfortunately no more.
In which state was President Kennedy when he was assassinated in 1963?
Well, he was in a terrible state. He died.
With its hit and miss gags and its over silly plot, this episode was not lovely jubbly, and it didn't make sense.
And if you phone here once again, I'm going to come down there and kick your ass into shredded duck. Goodbye.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from Watch Mojo UK and subscribe for more great content.